Hey, welcome or welcome back. It is, as always, good to see you. It's been a little bit. That's my bad. I have some personal videos I need to get edited and uploaded. I'll get around to it. But right now, we are going to take a look at somebody a little bit different. Young Dumb Honey Bun, or currently her channel is called YDHB. Her name is Sarah. And she started out as a Amberlynn compilation channel and then moved into Amberlynn Reactions. And now she's gotten away from those and she's just kind of posting a lot of different like hot topics, social topic videos. And her channel seems to not be doing great. She's losing a lot of subscribers too. But I wanted to take a look at this video titled Velma is a garbage can on fire. Let's watch. Now, I would probably say Velma is a dumpster fire, but again, she is an educated immigrant woman that came to the country with no language and now speaks 2 languages. You know. Yeah, so I did used to subscribe. Well, I still subscribe to Sarah. I used to be a channel member. I no longer am because I don't care for a lot of the way she words things, her opinions, the way she treats people. But that's beside the point for now. I did watch one of the shorts on this video. That's apparently a clip from this video. And so I am in Tree Boy Ilia's Discord, and a couple of people commented a couple of things she said in this video, and I'm like, oh no, I've got to watch it now. So I don't know what she does in this video, but Velma, if you do not know, is an adult animation. So it is a cartoon not for children, it's for adults. And from what I understand, it is a new take on the Mystery Inc. gang, or, you know, the Scooby-Doo gang, and their origins. So the description of this cartoon or animation is, and this is from Wikipedia, Velma is an American adult animated mystery horror comedy television series based on the character Velma Dinkley from the Scooby-Doo franchise. Developed and created by Charles Grandy for HBO Max, it stars executive producer Mindy Kaling as the voice of Velma. And then we have Sam Richardson, Constance Wu, and Glenn Howerton in other roles. It revolves around the other human members, and it does not feature Scooby-Doo. It premiered January 12th, 2023, to mixed reviews from critics who praised the vocal performances but were divided towards the humor and criticized its meta storytelling. Good lord, I am from Missouri. Meta storytelling, characterization, and departures from the Scooby-Doo mythos. Audience reception was negative. A second season is in development. So from what I understand on reviews, people just didn't care for a lot of the changes in the races of the characters. Because we have Velma Dinkley is now South Asian American. Fred is still white. Norval Rogers, aka Shaggy, is black, or he's mixed race. He's half black, half white. And Daphne is East Asian American and raised by 2 adoptive mothers. So we have apparently a lesbian couple that's raising Daphne. And Velma is also bisexual in this. However, in other adaptations or in other interviews, whatever, about Scooby-Doo, Velma is a lesbian. But in this, she is at least still a member of the LGBTQ plus community. But Let's go ahead and see what we are watching through Young Dumb Honeybun and her take on things, and hopefully I don't get too angry.
Hi my loves, how are you today? Welcome back to the channel. Hope you're having
What is in her ear? Does she have huge, like, diamond or cubic zirconia or something, some kind of gemstone in her ears on both of them? Those are huge. I've never seen those before.
a wonderful, amazing day. Today's going to be a fun one. I feel like we tackle
Well, I'll be the judge of that there, Sarah.
some pretty disturbing, serious topics sometimes, and today I feel like we're really going to have fun with this one. So today we're going to be talking about the new show Velma on HBO, and we have talked about it before. We've talked about the issues with it, the fact that Scooby-Doo is not in it.
What did that say? Scooby-Doo is woke? Are they using the term woke incorrectly here, like Amber Lynn did?
At all. And I'm honestly starting to think that he was invited, and after seeing the script, he opted out. That must be.
So it's the origin story of the human characters, not of the dog as well. So maybe in season 2, Scooby will come into play, but this is kind of a reimagination, different universe retelling of the Scooby-Doo um, group story. And it can be tough to reimagine and restart and redevelop a franchise as beloved as Scooby-Doo. So I can see why a lot of people would be screaming, "Oh, you've ruined my childhood, blah blah." But you know what? No, you still have your childhood. You still have those stories, you still have those cartoons. They've revamped it, made it more inclusive. They're showing LGBTQ plus people, they're showing different races, different nationalities portraying these characters. And even though it's not for kids, adults like to see themselves represented as well.
The only reason. Whoever was his agent, whoever was responsible, looked at the script and thought, absolutely not. I am not putting my paw print on this. The entire cast is now also in some way a minority, be it ethnic or otherwise. Apart from Fred, don't Fred though. don't Fred. He is still white. However, he is now the hetero, cis, evil white man who is
Hetero, cis, evil white man. Why would they make Fred an evil white man?
just shallow and gross. And if you can't explain,
Well, I mean, Fred's kind of shallow and gross in the original. um, but oh, look at that modern hairstyle.
a woman, then he doesn't even see her.
Hey, watch where you're going, jerk.
So I haven't seen the full cartoon, like any of it, to know. So is Sarah just basing this on clips, or has she actually watched the cartoon?
You cheat off me in Spanish because you think I'm Mexican.
Maybe. I have a disease where I can't recognize people who aren't hot.
And so for today, I have a
It's you can say that about any teen movie. Also, we should remember these characters are teenagers, they're in high school. But you could say that about any number of like teen romance comedy things. You have your white jock or white popular guy that treats people this way. It's just a common trope used in TV series and movies.
treat. We're going to be watching the trailer. I have also found a compilation of 9 minutes of cringe of Velma, so we're going to be watching that.
Okay, so we're going to only watch the trailer and 9 minutes of, quote, cringe. That seems like something really good to base a full opinion of the cartoon on.
I have not seen the full thing yet. I really wanted to have this experience with you guys. I really wanted to save my true reactions. So we're going to be watching that. And also I want to discuss, before we get right into it, I might be actually after, we'll see, the widely available images on the IMDb website that go with this series, who this series is for, who it's more likely to be seen by, and all of that good stuff. So, you know what?
So it is on HBO Max. It's probably not likely to be seen by children. And it's not meant for children. If parents want to let their children watch it when this is meant to be more of an adult cartoon, that's on them.
Without further ado, I think that's everything that I wanted to say to you in the intro. Let's get into it. Let's watch some cringe and let's see why
My intro has been very long, I'm so sorry.
this is hated by literally everyone who has laid eyes on it.
Good evening and welcome to Big Talk. My name's Raymond Terrific, and yet again I stand at the eye of the storm of the world's ills, waving my staff like Gandalf and screaming, "Let's get this sorted!"
Okay, first things first, let's
What the hell is this?
start with the actual trailer. Okay, I have not seen it yet. Why am I nervous? I feel like part of me wants this to be better than what everyone's saying it is, because I feel like I am the target audience for it. I grew up with Scooby-Doo. I'm still obsessed. I have all of the DVDs. I have an ongoing collection. I want to get all of them from like the 70s and like earlier, and since whenever it came out, I think it was in the 60s. I want to get all of that. Like, I have box sets, I have games. I feel like this was made for me. Like, I was the target demographic. I am now an older 25-year-old member of the audience who was supposed to make this gradual transition from watching Scooby-Doo when she was 5 or 10 to now watching this like adult HBO Max film or series, and I feel like this is just so painful. But if I don't see Scooby-Doo, is it okay to just not class it as part of the Scooby-Doo franchise?
Well, it's a retelling. It's a different universe, so it's not to be included, of course, with the existing Scooby-Doo mythos. It's different. It's kind of a reboot, if you will. I mean,
I'm just gonna do that. Anyway, let's get right into this.
This is my story told my way. Jeez. My name is Velma Dinkley, and I've decided to finally share the bone-chilling events that drove me to assemble the greatest team of spooky mystery solvers ever. This is my story told my way.
mindless violence.
No brain! Oh, I'm not dissing her. She has no brain!
Oh, okay, that was covering up, an injury.
And it starts with a murder. When I see something, I wish if I can't convince people I didn't kill Brenda, I'm going to be arrested.
I know, but I also know how to find out who did kill Brenda. I think it has something to do with drugs, which I hate.
Hey, Fred.
I love that little kind of nod to to the fact that Shaggy is a stoner. but in the beginning he hated China. I like this. May be my kind of humor, so I might actually really enjoy this cartoon.
Do I know you?
It's Velma from school.
I have a disease where I can't recognize people who aren't hot.
Is it called rudeness?
I have an illness!
Hey, Daphne.
I'm sorry. I actually think this might be kind of funny. I would probably watch and enjoy this cartoon. Hey, there's a bra hanging from the power line. Sarah's face is just.
I need a favor. Why would I do that? We're not friends anymore. We're nemesis.
Nemesis.
That's why.
Whoa! What was that? What was that? I couldn't see what.
Not yet caught the serial killer. It's because it's a ghost.
Jinkies.
Maybe he's one of those doors.
that running through the hallway?
Where you push in a brick and it opens.
Fred, wait!
I have a plan.
I love danger. You might have more success with this if you went in just a little less judgy.
Okay, Daphne, I'm the brains of this operation. You're just the look, style, and effortless charm.
We do make a good team, don't we?
In this day and age, you can't speculate about someone's sexuality unless they're famous or Peppermint Patty.
Yeah, well, you know, we all know Peppermint Patty was a lesbian.
The rules feel a bit muddy.
Muddy? Oh, sorry I'm not a drunk on the verge of losing custody like every other woman solving murders these days.
I'm sure that's probably a reference to some TV shows that I don't watch because I don't really watch television. I may have to actually watch this cartoon though. I do have HBO Max.
All our classmates are idiots, so let's assume they're high.
You know what 420 is, right?
Yeah, it's code for adults who still watch cartoons.
Well, in that case, her face was just just stone faced. I enjoyed it.
Okay. Okay, I'm not really sure where to start. Okay, let's start with the fact that, yes, they're all different ethnicities, cultures.
Ethnicity, perchance?
Okay, that's a debate on, is it truly inclusivity and representation when you are just swapping characters? Why not make a whole new series with a diverse cast of characters instead of just swapping the ones that are already existing? I feel like I know the answer to that, and the answer to that is Scooby-Doo is already a very much famous established name, and so companies are more likely to just swap out characters of already famous established works instead.
Exactly. Things have been very whitewashed through the years. Cartoons, TV, all very whitewashed. So you had children, or adults even now, watching TV shows, movies, cartoons, and not seeing themselves represented. So having this beloved franchise like Scooby-Doo, having characters of different ethnicities, as Sarah said, or ethnicities, representing you and you being able to see yourself in these characters really does a lot for, for a child's self-esteem, or even adult. It's nice to be able to see these characters that represent your culture and your heritage or background or country, ethnicity, and see that representative. It is inclusive, it's representative, and it's good to see. If they started out totally new with some different series, like, oh, these are the cousins. But no, they're taking this established franchise and just retelling it, because, in all honesty, the ethnicity of the characters isn't important to the story. It really isn't, whenever it comes down to just the whole solving these random murders and mysteries. It doesn't matter. So being able to represent other people and show them is a good thing, in my opinion.
Of making new ones, because the success is in some way guaranteed. People are going to watch it, even just to hate, rather than, an obscure new cartoon kind of the same nature going under the radar, no one being able to see it, no one wanting to see it. So, although I don't like it personally, I think that I understand what they were going for. I understand that it's nice to have representation, but I don't think it should be done this way. I think new characters should be invented instead of old ones just being swapped around. I think that would be honestly more productive, but that aside,
So how would they do that? How would they bring in those characters? Would they just leave Fred as the token white guy? And bring in like, oh, this is Velma's South Asian cousin. I mean, how would they do that?
Although, for example, Shaggy is no longer Shaggy, and you know, Shaggy the
He is Shaggy. His real name is Norval. He is still Shaggy. He's just going by his real name.
stoner character, the one that people, like, everyone knew Shaggy was a stoner, right? From the references in the films, from the genuine, like, everything about him, the personality, the constant munchies, like, people knew Shaggy was a stoner.
Removed clips here from the movies that kind of implied Shaggy was a stoner.
The fact that, first of all, they swapped the only stoner character to a black man. Second of all, they kept their drug references.
Drugs, which I hate.
I don't think making him black is racist or anything, to be honest. He was just one of the characters they could make black.
You know what 420 is, right?
Even in the more subtle shots at the beginning of the trailer when Velma bursts through the door, you can see that Shaggy is Googling something about drugs.
Are drugs destroying our school? So, yeah, these are origin stories of the characters. So this is before how we know them as part of this mystery solving team. So I think having all these drug references is just kind of a wink wink nod nod, you know, hey hey, to Shaggy's future. Stay away from shifty people, they could be dealing drugs. Drug dealers, aka Candymen, hang out in dark alleys.
And yeah, it's like, drugs are bad, I hate them, but it's the subtle pauses. It's when it's like, oh, I hate drugs. And it's as if it's like,
it's on purpose.
Like, meant to be funny because it's not true. So
exactly. That's why it's funny. Because we all know how Shaggy ends up. He ends up as a stoner. That's why it's funny. I mean, maybe I'm 12.
I just don't understand what the point of that was, and I don't know why do it. And again,
I just don't think Sarah has a sense of humor.
And if they weren't so woke and pushing like inclusivity, like clearly this.
Let's let her finish that thought.
Was to score brownie points. How are you doing so much to be so, you know, inclusive, yet doing so much wrong? How are you gonna, you know, be so inclusive and change everyone to be inclusive, and then you're gonna give us a shot of shallow Fred taking.
Okay, no. It's not meant to be woke and inclusive. It's just meant to be inclusive. I don't think she knows what woke is. Okay.
Pigs in the bath and like squeezing women against him, and there's just it's everywhere. Like, how is that?
Because he's the shallow character. He's the shallow jock type, not jock, but like popular type guy.
How did the two mingle? Like, how did the two go together? It's like, oh, we're so woke and so, you know, like, so ahead of the time and like for change, like we you know, we're like, oh, super inclusive, whatever, and yet you're putting in these such like inappropriate things that make certain characters look bad while pushing racial stereotypes.
How's it inappropriate
on other characters? Like, I don't know what I don't see the point. I don't see what you were trying to achieve here. Why couldn't
I'm not surprised.
Fred be then a black man and be.
Well, they needed to leave one character white to have the white person in there.
Be still the leader of the group and be inquisitive and intelligent and whatever else he was. Why?
Actually, in this cartoon, according to the description, he is dim-witted. Fred is not the leader and not smart. Velma is really kind of the leader.
Why did they have to be Shaggy, and why are the drug references still there? And
it's called foreshadowing.
There's like 3 of them included in the trailer. Secondly, I'm not sure who this is for. The reason I say that is because on the IMDb,
it's for adults.
page, and if you just Google it, it says that this is an 18 plus show.
Yes.
So all I can think of is that this is for people, as I said before, like me, for example. I think that people like me are the target audience here, who grew up with Scooby-Doo, who know about Scooby-Doo, who love him, and who enjoy the general, story and things like that, and then who want to know the origin story for it without it being too
But it's a different universe origin story.
infantile and for kids, right? Because those kids that were raised on Scooby-Doo are already adults. Okay, fair enough. So why try so hard to be cool and in with the kids?
She has no brain! Oh, I'm not dissing her. She has no brain!
Why say things like, I'm not dissing her, I'm just saying, like all of these kinds of things?
Because these characters are teenagers. And that's how apparently teenagers speak. I don't know. I'm not a teenager. I haven't been one for over 25 years.
I find incredibly cringy. I don't think that this is how adults who, watch Scooby-Doo and who are in their 20s now speak. I
No, but
don't think that it's something that they would use on a regular basis, and I don't think that it's something that is particularly funny.
It's because we've established Sarah doesn't have a sense of humor.
I'm struggling to think as to why you wouldn't make it more obvious that it is not for children. So here's the thing.
Oh, won't somebody please think of the children?
It's on HBO Max. It's called an adult animation. And now I haven't seen any of the episodes yet, but I'm sure that if parents were to sit down with their kids, start the first episode, they might get halfway through and be like, oh, wait a minute. And I'm sure whenever the cartoon starts, there's probably going to be a maturity rating. It might be like TVMA or TV 18 plus, but they'll have a rating at the beginning of the cartoon telling you the age. It's not going to say G or PG. It'll probably say, I don't know, mature, maybe?
When you go on the IMDb website, all it says here is that it's the origin story of the gang. It's Scooby-Doo, it's Velma,
Aha, it does. I'm sorry, I didn't pause it fast enough, but up top it said TV-MA. Mature. That's the rating. It's mature.
Inclusive, whatever else. There is nowhere, or maybe I'm just not seeing it.
You're not seeing it because you don't understand the ratings. It is rated mature, and it says it up at the beginning of that page.
Please let me know. There's nowhere that blasts all over like being like, oh, this is by the way for like 18 plus, because there is, first of all, very strong language that's at no point blurred out, and second of all,
right, because it's an adult. Again, I'm a broken record here. It's an adult cartoon.
Second of all, there's like oh my god, this is so stupid. The tags for it are like female nudity, like frontal nudity, all of those kinds of very inappropriate things. And all I can think of is that, like, if I had a child and they came to me and they were like, hey, by the way, I'm watching Velma, the new show on HBO about the origins of the Scooby-Doo gang, can I watch it? I'd be like, sure. Because nowhere have I heard that it's for 18 plus. I had to Google it, and even on the IMDb, I'm not seeing it. And yes, this is something that parents...
Because you didn't look. It says mature. Again.
Need to keep in mind and monitor what the children are, watching. But at the same time, sometimes, you ask them, hey, what are you watching? They say, oh, it's Scooby-Doo. You're not going to be like, is it the version that's for adults only? Like, obviously, like, you just assume that it's a safe thing, right?
So also, as I've said, it's on HBO Max. I don't think many parents would have their kids scrolling through HBO Max looking for something to watch.
I think that's a little bit... Like, I'm not super... I can see what... if people were like, I'm super uncomfortable with this, I can be like, yeah, I can see why. Because there's no, like, warnings or anything like that. And even in the...
You know what I'm going to say?
Description and such, I can't find that this is specifically for adults because of the themes, because of the strong language, because of the things they're saying. At the same time, I don't think it's particularly appealing to adults because they're also trying to be super cool and in with the kids, and I don't think that it's working personally for me, but you can let me know if it's working for you. Second of all, let's just quickly have a look at some of the images available on IMDb. So first of all, I've already shown you like the special hug of Fred and whoever the woman was.
Again, adult cartoon. He's shallow. He's holding a woman like he probably shouldn't be. She doesn't look too thrilled about it.
I have shown you the spray paint using, strong language. There's pictures of Fred quite like sexualized with his like shirt open, and he's trying to be kind of like.
He's trying to be sexy. He's flirting probably.
Whatever that was, the Riz face is on, and then. Fred taking selfies in the bath. There's also the drug references. There's also
duck face.
Oh my god, it's so honestly, I'm saying this, and I'm like, because all I can think of is like this had to go to a board meeting where men in suits are going to be sat around, and it's going to have to be approved by a variety of people, and they all say,
"What? No,
that's not how it works. That's not how any of this works."
It would have to be approved by the FCC, and it would have to be given a rating. That's it. I don't think the people working on this cartoon are men sitting around in suits. No, Sarah.
Like, yep, this is amazing. Not only that, they continued to make it. It's just so weird to me. There's a scene in the strip.
Oh my god, she's so. Oh no! Do not insult the person you're reacting to.
Club. And there is also.
Is this when Velma realizes she's bisexual? I like how Fred just looks bored, and Velma's like, "Hey." It's adult only. These are teenagers. How do they get into this adult club?
So, some like gay kisses and things.
Why is Daphne kissing Velma?
Like that. If they wanted to do that,
so what? There's a gay kiss.
Why not make a completely new series?
Oh no! There's a gay kiss. Heaven forbid. So. These are things that she found questionable. Fred having his shirt unbuttoned. Fred taking a picture in a bathtub. Velma and Fred going to a strip club. And a gay kiss. All of these things are apparently questionable in Sarah's mind. Should all these things be seen by a child? Maybe not the strip club. They've seen characters in bathtubs. They've seen characters with male characters with their shirts unbuttoned in cartoons or in bathing suits. These aren't adult themes except for the strip club. For people, children, now there are some children that have never seen these things, but most children have seen two people kiss. Whether it's their own parents or a sibling kissing whoever they're dating, or on television, people kiss. And having, representation of people of the same sex kissing is, in my opinion, wonderful to see. Now again, I am a lesbian, and when I was growing up, I wasn't able to see that kind of representation on television. Now, again, as I say, this cartoon is not meant for children, but teenagers could watch it. Like, 16, 17-year-old. And even then, growing up, we didn't have that kind of representation when I was growing up of seeing people that felt like us. That's why so many of us were in the closet for so many years. Because we were told it was wrong and we shouldn't feel that way. And it's bad. You can't see two people of the same sex kissing. And Sarah grouping this gay kiss and with this questionable content kind of pisses me off a little bit. Because say you might have a 16 or a 17-year-old that's struggling with their sexuality. These characters, Daphne is probably straight. I don't know. She's not mentioned as being part of the LGBTQ community on her description, but Velma is. So, seeing even just a little bit of representation to let you know that you're not alone and it's okay to feel the way you do is very important.
Don't have actually a problem with either of those individually if it's in a cartoon for adults, right? I have no issue with
this is for adults.
Strip club scenes with like selfies in the bath with gay couples, like gay characters, whatever. Fine, all cool, amazing. No issues with.
I'm gonna let her finish that.
You know, heavy busted characters. Like, no issues with that at all, as long as it's a new thing. It's like a new series, because what it is that you're taking something that's so nostalgic.
Okay. Is she not okay with gay characters being in children's cartoons? Is that what she's saying? Gay people exist, Sarah. And they exist in the lives of children. The lives of children. There are gay people in the world. You're going to see people having PDA in public. Being a gay person, I'm surrounded by heteronormativity all the fucking time. I see straight people, straight couples holding hands and kissing and showing some form of affection in public all the time. But you have one gay couple do that, and it's the end of the fucking world.
To a lot of people, that's associated with innocence, that's associated with the childhood, and you turn it into like borderline like pornographic thing. And I think that the kids that are going to be growing up.
How is a kiss borderline pornographic?
Be growing up with this as well, because you can't tell me that things that are already out there on the internet, like there's going to be 16, 14, 15-year-olds that are going to be watching it.
16, 14, 15-year-olds have definitely seen people kissing before. They're in high school. They've probably seen worse in the hallway next to people's lockers when they're walking to class. Or in the parking lot after school.
The kids that are going to be like, oh, it's a Scooby-Doo film, and the parents are going to be like, oh, cool, not knowing what it is. There is going to be kids that will watch this. Let's be realistic about it.
I'm sure there may be some kids that watch it, but that's on the parents.
They're not going to have the same fond memories of Scooby-Doo as we did as kids. And I think that's a massive shame. I honestly do. So I think
this isn't replacing the existing Scooby-Doo mythos, cartoons, universe. They all still exist, Sarah.
First of all, much of this is just inappropriate. Second of all, you're ruining something that many people hold so closely to the heart because it is so nostalgic. I think you have to be very careful with, like, especially like nostalgia-based programs and things in general. Imagine how people would feel if this was like a Disney princess spin-off for adults, just on HBO, where it's like a lot of like nudity and strong words. I think a lot of people wouldn't be a fan of that either, again because of that nostalgic factor, because they didn't just choose to make something.
No, instead we have these Disney princesses that have to have a man in their life, and that's their whole goal.
That's maybe inappropriate for people, maybe some people will like it, whatever it may be. Adult based on something completely new. They chose to take something from when you were a kid and make that borderline appropriate. And I think that's where the problem is. I think taking something completely new.
No, that's not where the problem is. The problem is you don't understand the audience, who the cartoon is for, and what they're doing with it. That's the problem is you, Sarah.
It's me. Hi, I'm the problem, it's me.
You making it would have worked. I think it would have worked a lot better. I think it would have scored you much higher than 1.4 stars. And I think that much more.
From what I read on some of the reviews, people just don't like the story. They don't like the writing. They don't like the story it's telling.
People would be on board to give it a try because, first of all, inclusivity. Second of all, kind of like an adult cartoon. I mean, look at, like, just even take one of the most famous ones, most well-known ones, like Rick and Morty. That is many times inappropriate. That many times.
Yes, it's very inappropriate, and it's an adult cartoon, just like Velma. Shocked!
talks about things that kids should not be exposed to, but I think because no one grew up with it as a 5-year-old, no one's having an issue with that. It's not like it was a wholesome cartoon, then someone took it and completely revamped it into being an adult-centered one. It was like that from the beginning, so it attracted the right audience from the beginning. This feels forced. This feels like it doesn't really know what it's targeting. It doesn't really know who it's targeting.
It does.
On one side,
It
you have them
does.
cool with the kids and saying like slang words. On the other side, you have this like full frontal nudity. It just feels muddled. It feels like it doesn't.
Does it have full frontal nudity? The only thing that I saw was you saying there were search terms for it. I haven't seen any full frontal nudity in the cartoon. Well, I haven't seen the cartoon. But I'll have to watch it. But no, I haven't
know
seen
what
that.
it wants to be, and honestly it feels weird because you've taken something that is so nostalgic, innocent, good, clean fun, and you've turned it into something that's like icky. So that's why I personally wouldn't dream of watching this. But saying that, we are going to get into right now the 9 minutes of cringe, the compilation. Let's have a look at it and let's see again what
I'm probably going to find it funny because I'm a child, apparently, with my sense of humor.
What's in it, because we've already talked about a lot and it's just starting, so strap in, keep your hands
I'm
and
already
your feet
45
and your
minutes
legs
in.
within the ride. Do not jump off the ride until it is finished. God. Right, let's watch.
My name is Velma Dinkley. Sure, normally origin stories are about tall, handsome guys struggling with the burden of being handed even more power.
Dare I say that when I'm watching a Scooby-Doo spin-off, for me personally, just for me personally, maybe you're different, I don't want to be talking or being, you know, in midst, or even, I don't want any mention of social political issues in a Scooby-Doo film. It would be something I'm watching where I just want to watch it. I just want to watch a gang of teenagers, you know, taking masks off of people, and that's literally all I want.
I'm sure a lot of the Scooby-Doo cartoons that we watched growing up included some, you know, socio-political issues kind of in the underlying themes. We just didn't recognize them.
So maybe that's completely wrong and villainous of me. Maybe I'm a terrible person for that, but I just don't want to hear about white dudes, black dudes, stereotypes, this and that. Like, I don't care. I just want to... Why was that necessary? Why is it... Oh, normally it's white men being handed even more power because, you know, white men have the most power in our...
Well, they do.
Society because of the patriarchy. What is that? I don't care. I just want to watch Scooby-Doo. Like, I just want to watch something to get myself out of that real world. Like, it's so weird to me. Why are we so obsessed with putting that kind of thing into everything nowadays? It's so, like... we can't have any break from it now. We have to leave, like, everything that was nice and kind of comforting. You're not allowed that anymore. Like, we have to live, breathe, and sleep social justice and activism. We have...
I don't think that's the purpose of what she's saying here. I think you're reading a little bit too much into it. She's just saying that, hey, look, me being a teenage South Asian woman, this is my origin story. You know, it's usually this white guy doing blah blah.
To do that, we can't have any kind of break where we're like, okay, today I'm just watching some nice films and I'm not thinking about the injustice of the world. Like, I can tackle that on Monday. Like, I can, you know, really get into that and start my activism back up again another time. Like, I can't have any. That's so exhausting. It is exhausting. It's so exhausting. Everyone deserves to have time off. Everyone deserves to just have a relaxing hour or two where they're not thinking about anything that can make them anxious or uncomfortable or anything like that, when they're not constantly being attacked or when they're not constantly trying to defend themselves or other people or doing whatever. Everyone deserves that. They deserve to...
Unfortunately, a lot of people aren't given that a lot of people have to deal with these issues 24/7 because they are minorities.
You just sit and mindlessly watch something or watch pizza and like eat pizza. And not even that is possible. Or it's starting to be impossible nowadays.
Yeah, it was me, not Fred and his weird sex fan.
And how do you feel about race-blind casting, Daphne?
So if you can make out what that person says, please leave it down below. It's something like, how do you feel about race something casting, Daphne?
How do you feel about race-blind casting, Daphne? I believe is what was said.
I don't know what it says, but we have we've established that this show is a very woke show. This show is a very woke show, so do with that what you will.
No. It's not. That's probably... Watching these little clips like this and trying to base your opinion of the entire show on clips here and there, especially when these clips were apparently titled cringe, based on what was said, there's probably something about Daphne. Maybe she was going out for a play at school, and the character was supposed to be white, whenever Daphne is, apparently, I think, East Asian. Maybe she was going out for a white character, and she was saying there should be race-blind casting. Maybe that was the lead-up to this scene. I don't know. But seeing these little clips here and there doesn't give a very good, view into the entire cartoon.
Well, full frontal nudity, like full...
That wasn't full frontal nudity. You couldn't see anything. There was no full frontal nudity. Let me try to go back when Daphne was hit across the room. You couldn't even see anything because her arms and her legs were in the way. There was no full frontal nudity.
So weird. It's so like... I don't know. Do you find it necessary? Do you just not mind it? Is it just me? Maybe I'm just the weirdo. Maybe I'm just the weird one who like doesn't find it necessary to see like women naked flying through the screen and like butts on TV. Like I can live without it.
She was naked. Yes, you can see her butt. Yes, it's a butt. You see butts in cartoons all the time. Okay, some of these women previously are fully naked. I am from Missouri again, I'm sorry. Naked. But there's soap covering the naughty bits. So you can't see anything. Okay, you can see Daphne's full front whenever she hits the lockers, but again, covered in soap.
It's not that it offends me, like, that much, to be honest. Like, I don't particularly care for it, but at the same time, I'm like, why is it there? Like, why? Like...
Because it's an adult cartoon.
You know, like, it's like, what? Maybe it's just my personal thing. It's not like that big of a deal. I'm not gonna go to sleep crying about it. But at the same time, I can do without personally. So like, let me know what you think.
Then don't watch.
I wasn't expecting such an enlightened answer from such.
You almost killed me.
Guess I didn't try hard enough. God's not real if you two morons are running this investigation.
God's not real if you two morons are running this investigation. Now again, we don't have any context for this clip.
God's not real if you two are running this investigation. Again, I could live without that. I don't find it particularly...
I'm sure there's some context to it that would probably help.
Funny. I don't think many 20-ish-year-olds will, to be honest. I think it's unnecessary.
I think they would. I think you're just some weird anomaly.
Necessary, and that's not even coming from someone who's like super religious or anything like that. I just think it's I think honestly a lot of the time when you're a bad writer, you hide either under very controversial things or like stereotypes or like little like zingers, like, you know what I mean, like that kind of thing where it's like you think you're cool with the kids and like you think that's what kids like talk about, but in reality it's just cringy. So again, could live without. Didn't...
You know, again, I'm not saying this cartoon is epically written and well done and everything, but I think it's hard to make these wide sweeping, I guess, opinions or generalizations based on one short clip without any real context. And I'm also wondering who made this compilation? Is this compilation made by some really super conservative person?
We bring anything into the show, to be honest. Let's keep going.
I'm a suspect? I thought lesbians were good at solving crimes. It's like the one positive stereotype perpetuated by cop shows.
Do I need to say anything?
No, Sarah, you don't, because again, we don't have context. And I think Sarah's homophobic tendencies are showing.
Do I need to say anything? Like, you know what? Maybe we should put like a cool with the kids, or like down with the kids, or like zinger calculator here. Every time she says something where there could be a drum after it, like I'm gonna put.
Well, there's gonna be jokes.
I'm gonna put a little counter on there.
I'm a suspect? I thought lesbians were good at solving crimes. It's like the one positive stereotype perpetuated by cop shows. No, because I hate your stupid adopted daughter and her fake-ass friends.
Oh, okay, so these are Daphne's parents. Okay, they're the detectives. Oh.
Hey, watch where you're going, jerk. You cheat off me in Spanish because you think I'm Mexican.
Maybe. I have a disease where I can't recognize people who aren't hot.
Is it called rudeness?
It is. You're like smart.
You're not real. You're not real.
Seriously, who is this weirdo?
Only think you murdered Brenda because you...
We're voted most revengey in the school yearbook. I know.
Most revengey.
Oh, those yearbook guys have no idea what's coming to them.
I'm not just a waitress, I'm also
A basic bitch who doesn't even know how to use hashtag. Well, I had to go prepare myself for prison. Not that you care.
glamorous waitress at Spooner's Mall.
Oh, you get, oh. Oh my god. Oh. I don't know why I find that so funny. Like the I'm sorry. I don't know why I find that so funny.
Shop.
What in the blue fuck is happening here?
I don't know either, Sarah, but we don't have a lot of context. So it's hard to know what's happening here.
Yeah. What is this? What is that?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
1 hour later.
I'm sorry.
What is that? Why do the people who are so... I just... You know when that, like, it's like mixed messages, like inclusivity, woke, is all of this, but then also a naked woman who's pregnant, whose baby's literally, like, pressed into it, like, so...
Because it's a cartoon!
Weird person who's trying to get out from under the bedsheet. Like, what is happening there? Why is that there? It's creepy, it's weird, and...
It is a little creepy and weird, but I think it's funny for some... I don't know why, I just suddenly saw that. I thought it was hilarious. I don't know why, I can't explain it.
I, once again, could do without...
And we could do without your commentary on things you don't understand, Sarah.
This weirdness. It's just weirding me out.
Did I tell you? Will you remember?
I have an illness!
My mom smoked cigarettes.
Oh, hi, sweetie. Oh.
Like the case of the missing idea juice. My guilt triggers a potentially heart-stopping hallucination. Could exercising and eating less fried food help? We'll never know.
Thelma! There you are!
Norville? What the hell? Yes! And I don't want to do our math homework together. Just email me your answers like always. Know what VMs are! Get to the point! On TV shows, the malt shop owner is always a friendly black man or a spicy and meatball Italian.
One of the comments that I have found actually says, I thought that they made Velma black or like Asian of a different ethnicity to be inclusive, but it turns out they made her that way just so she can say some of the most racist stuff ever. And honestly,
No, it's probably because Mindy Kaling is involved in the show, and Mindy Kaling is South Asian. That's probably why. And Mindy Kaling is the voice for her.
Beginning to see it. I don't understand how, again, on one side you have we are woke, we are inclusive, even dialogue about you can't speculate on someone's sexuality, and then Fred is saying things like, I have an illness, I can't see hot people, which I feel like to these people would be surely ableist. And now you have her talking about...
How is that ableist? That's not ableist.
And like mocking Italian people and doing all that. So which one is...
Wait, look. We all make random jokes about race, ethnicity, things like that. Stereotypes. We all make jokes about that. Whether we want to admit it or not, a good portion of us do. Again, this is an adult cartoon. If you watch Family Guy, American Dad, anything like that, sometimes they're a little offensive, but in a funny way. Most stand-up comedians might say something a little offensive, but it's funny. Same thing here.
And again, I understand humor, I get that, but this is mixed messages.
Do ya?
This is coming from the same people who will call you all kinds of isms if you don't agree with them, if you dare to make a joke that they don't personally like, if they don't...
Because there's jokes and there's things that are funny, but then there's sometimes also crossing a line. And this hasn't crossed any lines as far as I can tell.
Find it funny. These are those kinds of people making this. So what are you going for here? Because again, I'm seeing two different messages. By your own logic, this should be not okay. So I am just so confused about this.
So, I had one of my reporters on the school newspaper investigate Spooners. Guess which one?
Dorcas McNoFriends? If I can find your camera on Sophie, I'd solve Brenda's murder and send Sophie to jail. It's a win-win.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought that was funny.
Velma, what is this? Did you eat all the gummy vitamins again?
There you go. Get it all out. Yep, okay. Oh boy. Still more.
She left us.
La 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 la. No, she didn't. Something bad happened to her, and it's my fault, which is insane.
Friendship.
I think that's pertaining to her mother. Again, I don't have a lot of context.
Boyfriend? You think I want Fred? I mean, sure, if someone was like, want to see a naked picture of Fred? I'd be like, hubba hubba. But I'd say that about anyone.
Hey, I was rethinking our friendship this morning, and maybe it's healthier.
No time! Drive me to Fred's house!
I'll get my windbreaker.
Why wouldn't he? If I were a rich white dude, I'd kill everybody just to get away with it. Ah!
Velma, did you fall?
No, I'm cool and graceful like a swan.
Why? I'm weird and no one likes me.
That's not true. I like you.
No, you don't. You're like a brother to me. That's hilarious. Wait, Norville, your joke worked, you genius. Keep making me laugh.
I wasn't joking. Your face is why I get up in the morning.
Aww.
Norville, it worked.
Aww.
Who knew you were so funny? Wait, your secret is you're hairless? If I was hairless, I'd literally wear a bikini to school. Next to this secret comedian over here. If I found humor attractive, I would be all over you right now. Oh well. Eddie? Oh.
Aww. Poor Norval.
Sorry I'm not a drunk on the verge of losing custody like every other woman solving murders these days. Your ass is mine, best friend.
Yes, Fred Jones, heir to the Jones Gentleman's Accessories fortune, was arrested last night for murder.
Do they make ascots? Is that the gentleman accessory?
Well, thanks to me. My name, say my name.
Vermin Dorkley.
It's Velma Dorkley. I mean, Dinkley. Fred's a rich white guy with a tiny dong. He did it. Now, excuse me. I have to go find my missing mother. All our classmates are idiots or sheep, so let's assume they're high. Hey, Daphne.
What do you want?
Just to offer my sincerest condolences for the loss of your more popular friends that you picked over me.
For $500.
Well, Daphne, minorities on TV can only deal drugs to escape poverty. Exactly. I spit truth without a filter, like every comedian before #MeToo.
Look.
Oh.
Oh. I'm not sure why these are in some compilation of cringe. I don't understand what's the cringe about these, and it's really hard without context of the cartoon around it. So I just don't understand. And her little Chandler zinger-o-meter, I don't.
That is about as much as I can handle of that compilation. You are more than welcome to go and check it out for yourselves. I
don't think I will because it doesn't. Without context, it's really hard to make any kind of judgment.
I have left the credits at the beginning of the compilation as we started watching it. And before we finish this video, I just want to have a look at some reviews and what did people think. I'm curious if there's any people who...
I think I might skip her looking at reviews here and just cut this out.
That's everything that I have for you guys for today. Please let me know what you thought down below. I really enjoyed this. Hopefully you can go and check out the full compilation. Maybe you've watched it on your own.
I would probably have to watch the actual cartoon.
Your own time, and you're like, actually it's not too bad. Please let me know down below what you think. I know that there's some mixed reviews and some people say it's not that bad, but honestly, from everything that I have seen, I would not be watching this.
What have you seen? You've seen the trailer and half of a compilation of cringe clips.
And if I had to watch it, I wouldn't actively be enjoying it, which is actually quite sad because I think some of the clips in the trailer actually look quite good. I think there's some, like the actual...
Then maybe you should actually watch it and make your own opinion instead of watching a compilation without any context.
Mystery aspect of it could be fleshed out and it could be really good, but unfortunately I think all of the like wokeism and all of that kind of stuff just being kind of shoved in your face, not done well, because it could be done in a better...
How do you know how it's been done? And it's not wokeism, first of all, but how do you know how it's been done? You haven't watched it. All you've seen is the trailer.
Where and it, you know, wouldn't be written off as just another woke thing, which again, like I don't like presenting it like that because I wish it wasn't like that. I'm not one to like quickly be like, oh my god, like social justice. It's not like that. It's like I can tell when something's being shoved in my face. I can tell when someone's trying to be cool and edgy and make me feel like they're an activist, and it's like, this isn't it. This is icky. This is just unfunny and pitiful. This is like funny.
If you don't find it funny, that's fine. That is totally your prerogative. But to base it on a trailer and reading 2 reviews, which is what she read, 2 reviews, and quote cringe clips, how is that getting a real view of what it is? But then to even say to say that things are questionable for children and have one of those main things being gay characters, come on, Sarah.
In the worst way. Like, I'm laughing at it and not with it. And I do think that there is some concepts that could be made better, but as it stands right now, I will not be watching this, and I think it's a shame. I'm gonna go back and watch probably some of the older, you know, Scooby-Doo's and some of the crossover episodes, like with Batman and stuff like that. Like, you know, any day over this. So yeah, but let me know what you think, and I hope that you're having a wonderful day, and I shall see you in my next one. Bye.
Alright, well that was Young Dumb Honeybun's take on the Velma cartoon that she has not seen, but she already knows all about it by watching the trailer, reading a couple of reviews, and watching half of a compilation of clips. So of course, she knows everything she needs to know from those few things. Come on, seriously? I find a lot of random things I probably shouldn't find funny. And I think I'd probably laugh a lot at this cartoon because I have a very warped sense of humor. But I'm not really surprised to see Sarah's, you know, homophobia rearing its ugly little head. We've seen that also whenever it comes to her Amberlynn content. Anytime Wifey would grope Amberlynn, which I don't want to see Wifey groping Amberlynn either. But Sarah would damn near lose her lunch every time. So I don't know. Sarah's proven herself to be a homophobe. A lot of the comments on her video are people being like, wow, you've really shown who you are as a person, and I'm unsubscribing. I would find it interesting. I need to go look before I close this video out. I will have a clip. I might try to look on Social Blade and see if her subscriber count went down after this video was posted. But yeah, all that being said, that was Sarah's take on Velma, which was a very odd take. And that's all I've got for you this time. So until next time, be safe and take care.